WoW's in a good spot.
An amazing, the best spot it's been in years.
It's a great time to be playing WoW.
I just hope these next rune slots we get are a struggle to find.
Yeah.
I love them being a struggle to find. I'm talking like make them raid locked. I don't care. Make them. I don't know. Like people complain. For example, I'll have like 3 or 4 warlocks just because I love spamming Shadow Bolt. Oh, you're fine.
This is why we pre-record it.
Yeah. It's nicer than me. I'm like, babe, go live. You know what I mean? The kid's out of here. Just yelling.
Damn dog, dude. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the /Invite podcast. I'm your host, Chocolate, and I'm here with my co-host, Adam Swaggins, and we have a very special guest here with us, Crix Vibes, the one and only warlock extraordinaire, hardcore hero. Crix, introduce yourself, man.
Welcome, my guys. How you guys doing, man?
Dude, doing great, man. Thanks for coming on.
Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's.
Yes.
I go by Crix Vibes, either one. They wouldn't let me get Crix on Twitch, so I had to go with Crix Vibes. I actually let my chat pick the name, but you know.
All right.
I make a lot of content on YouTube. It's always been largely Warlock related, as I'm the co-admin of the Warlock Discord, but now I kind of stepped out and now I'm making Warrior guides, Shaman guides, Mage guides, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. And just no-lifing the game, man. I write a lot of the Icy Veins guide and some Wowhead guides as well. I'm just the guide guy,
guide guy, yeah.
That gets to play video games a lot, and it's a lot of fun. Enjoying it. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. So I know that you are a Warlock main. That's what you played in hardcore for the world first. But now you're kind of like branching out. Is that because of Season of Discovery, or like what was the reason for like swapping, trying different classes and making guides for the other classes of the game?
Pretty much, I always play Warlock, and when like new freshers come up, or like in Classic, I would have like 2 or 3 or 4 Warlocks, and it's gotten to the point where I'm just tired. Even with the rune system, I'm just tired of playing Warlocks. Like I always main one for the content purposes, but I just want to try other things. And I always, Sart's like my best friend in real life, and he always gives me some shit because he's a big melee guy, and like, you should try melee because melee is so much better. And so I finally did, and I love it, and I'm having so much fun playing. My mage was the first. I know it's not melee, but my mage was the first thing that I stepped out of and played. And obviously they're kind of boring inside, but the leveling was like magical. I got the AoE grind, the mythical AoE grind that you see all these mages doing all the time that I never got to try, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, damn, that was pretty fun. Now, then you got the heal on it. Obviously, they're healers now, so I get to heal sometimes. I can go switch and do DPS. Like I solo healed BFD last night or 2 nights ago on my mage. I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try one more class, and then I let chat pick, and they picked Warrior, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like Warrior.
Go.
I loved it from the second I got Victory Rush and was charging in the mobs. I fell in love with Warrior, and then kind of fell in a rabbit hole of theory crafting them, and then spit out a leveling guide and then a raid guide, and they both kind of like blew up and kind of got good reviews in terms of the community and the Warrior discords and stuff. So that then inspired me to go, okay, well maybe I can play another class since I have all the time in the world. So then I went Shaman. Because I wanted to I write the Shaman Wowhead guide, and I don't know anything about Shamans. I don't even know how they even had me write it. I know nothing about it. And so I was like, man, I might as well play it so I can, make the guides better. Fell in love with that. Enhanced Shaman tanking and the DPS, and it's so much fun. It all is just so much fun. And yesterday I got 60 or 25 on a Druid, so that's next. And I guess the focal point is just trying stuff new. And this is the best time to do it because it takes, a day or 2 to level. You get level cap of 25. You see it's a lot of people in my chat I've seen in a lot of the streamers' chats is their first time ever playing WoW. And this is like, if you think about it, the best way to start playing WoW, because you can't be, overwhelmed with all the abilities and stuff because there's only level 25. You only have 2-3 spells or 2-3 abilities and some runes to look at, so I look at it like that. It's just time to play other things to have fun.
I think
and it's been so much fun. I could do another character right now if I wanted to. I'm forcing myself to play hardcore because I've been waiting for it,
So when does like the hardcore solo self-found hardcore, does it have like an actual release date, or is that when is
the
that?
one from Blizzard?
Yeah.
That I don't think they had a release date, but they said, I'm guessing end of the month.
Oh yeah.
Somewhere around where phase 2 of SoD will launch, and it's just self-found. It's not solo self-found. The difference is like self-found. Well, you can't trade, you just auction house,
but you can group up.
Mail. Yeah. So you can group up, like you can, for example, which I hate, you can. And you're going to see people do it. The streamers, some will be getting a self-found run, and it'll have 10 people behind them, 5 people behind them, mob tagging, and that kind of stuff, it takes the danger out of it. Like you can sometimes see, Zaryu, which he's amazing, doing the For the Glory run and killing some huge elite that he's almost dying. And he tells people, hey, nobody help me. But someone from Shadow's just death will toss him a
gonna
heal,
come in and
or
do
or
something.
mess him up, and he'll like get upset about it. But it's like at the end of the day, it's out of our hands, you know. And then solo stuff found like right what's going on right now is SoD core, which is just hardcore on SoD is just
Hardcore. I love that.
yeah, it's the same thing. We're using the hardcore add-on that we made like I don't know 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and
Right.
you can't trade everything. Like it won't let you if you have this add-on, it doesn't let you open
Restricted.
it, click the mailbox. You can't do anything. And then you also can't use quest items. You can't equip them, which is making it a little more dangerous.
Interesting. Okay,
Really?
so it's all it's all like gear that drops for you, like that's
literally
what
that drops in the open world, or if you craft it yourself. So, for example, I went with the warlock. I'm gonna go tailoring, enchanting just to make my wand, and then I might keep tailoring because I need to make some kind of gear. But then you kind of like have to go both ways, where it's like I love engineering because target dummies, you know, those are get out of jail situations. They they taunt everything around them, and you can run away. So it's like, do I do the safety that I might need it, or should I be leatherworking on my rogue or whatever on my character so I can make gear for myself? Because otherwise you can't make gear.
Yeah.
And you're just going to pick up, there's those random vendors in the world that have some greens that you can buy. Other than that, you're just what you find. And you can get dungeon gear, but you can only run every dungeon one time. So it's not like it is on a hardcore server where every day you can run it. You can only forever on that character run Dead Mines once or RFC once.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
God.
Yeah. And so it's interesting. And you can only run it with other hardcore people in the guild too. Like right now, the guild's on Lava Lash, and we're like, it's guild capped at all times. And I literally have to purge something to invite somebody to the guild. There's like 300 people online at all times. So you always will find someone to do it with. But now people, because they're so, not loot greedy, but because it's so, if you take a 5-man group in there and as a warlock and I have 2 other casters, I'm sharing loot. But now the meta is they're taking a healer, they're taking a mail plate cloth in there, and they're 3-manning RFC, 3-manning WC, 3-manning Dead Mines and dying, like chain dying, because it's hard to do. But they want that loot, because if you don't have it, the difference of a cruel barb leveling or whatever is just crazy. So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Or runes. Runes are hard to get. Some people, you can't just go get Star Search right away without help, or you can't get the big.
You can't have somebody summon you. I would assume, because you can't like.
Yeah, you can't group up at all. Unless you're doing a dungeon, you guys can group up once you're standing in front of the dungeon. You guys can then party up.
That's really cool. Wow. That's me. So like I'm not a huge hardcore WoW guy. I game just kind of like as a leisure activity for fun, or streaming or whatever. So like I don't want to have another stress inside of something that I use to relax and chill. So like
it's very stressful.
I've done a couple of hardcore runs, but it's never been anything like. I've never like tried to like push to 60 or anything like that. It's like, like my wife and I'll hop on, like we'll do a hardcore, and we'll be just running on Tilter Show, just like killing spiders and stuff like that. Just to like, basically that was before SoD came out. Then ever since SoD came out, I've been just like Giga Gaming, SoD, no lifing as much as I can no life something. And have my first character was a druid, and I went balanced druid, and in the last episode, Sarth made fun of me because I was going balanced druid, but I'm like, listen, I wanted to have the most fun possible. Balanced druid is super fun. Like
I'm playing druid right now, and Pharaoh's boring as hell.
I mean, like
super boring.
I
mangle and melee.
I love having a feral in my group as on my paladin, like having a feral.
They do great damage.
Like, like you get the Wind Fury buff, and they do good damage. And now because I have Wind Fury, I do even better damage. So it's great to have.
It's just boring. The gameplay of it is you are just mangling and meleeing and then keeping Savage Aurora. Boomy's rotation is just more fun. You have some dots to keep up. Star Surge is always great. Free rats. You never have mana problems. It's just a lot of fun.
Especially with like the Star Surge buff. Like that was such a nice thing. Like because going from 10 seconds to 6 seconds, like really that 6 seconds is like 3 or 4 GCDs, 4 GCDs. So. You get
they buffed it like what 175% damage,
and you get more damage from it too. Like I mean, I was doing some role PvP in Hillsbrad, and just like Star Surge, it's like boom, 40% of the health gone, and I'm like, God damn,
it's real nice. I thought I didn't think it was that good until I see everybody playing it, and then I actually got it, and I was like, okay, well I'm one-shotting things until level 9 or something.
Oh yeah, early level it's insane.
Yeah.
Especially
how do you actually get the rune?
You have to go into wetlands.
Spoiler alert.
You can actually get it without. You don't need like a giga team to do it. It's just in wetlands. Yeah, you'll die, but you die. Run a little bit further, die, run a little bit further, and you can get it.
You pretty much just talk to this dwarf druid. That's what he is.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Which is like
that brings something up actually.
Oh, all right. Here you go.
Like when SoD got announced, it's like, yo, shit, they're making all these changes to classic WoW. I want to see gnome paladins. Like I want to see like different class
That'd be
race
dope.
combos. I know people are probably gonna be like, go play retail, whatever. But like, dude, like who fucking cares? Like,
I
I don't
think
give a shit.
I
Like,
think that's something that's definitely like probably not off the table for the dev team, because like I mean think about it, they're making a mage a healer, so like they're already changing this like how the classes play and interact with each other. I don't ever see them like bringing shamans to alliance and paladins to horde in classic WoW. I think that they're gonna keep those separate just because like that's like what makes the horde special and the alliance special is like having those one-off classes. But I definitely think that like I don't see any harm of adding like a night elf paladin class into like the next season that they're going to be doing. Also, SOD is already so crazy, and we're not even we've only had it for like a month and a half or 2 months now, and like how can they make it crazier? Like how can they iterate on this more? Like I feel like this is already like a perfect iteration.
I think it's
on
gonna
Classic.
keep getting crazier.
Yeah,
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna turn into like a PoE type thing where like you're just gonna be like destroying everything.
It's gonna get crazier because now we have another phase coming up where Gnomers are raid.
Yep.
And then more rune slots opening. It's like we don't know what else they're gonna bring.
Was it a waste rune that they had on like one of the teaser videos? Is that what they had? Do you think do you think it's going to be multiple runes or just like one rune slot with like 4 or 5 new runes?
I know they're going to do runes, a lot of rune slots. I don't know how they're going to I don't know if this phase just brings 1 or 2 rune slots. I can't imagine it would bring, 3. That'd be crazy, but hey, whatever.
I feel like if they if they just do more runes and they just keep adding new abilities, I feel like it's going to kind of turn into like a Mists of Pandaria button bloat type of thing where you have like the reason why everyone has these Razer mouse or these mouse with like 12 buttons is because of Mists of Pandaria, because you had so many buttons to press. Your rotation was insane. So like now I'm playing SoD and like I don't need this mouse anymore. I'm just spamming 1 the entire time. Like,
1, 2, 3.
This is how the game was made. This is how the game was meant to be.
Well, also it's only level 25, and a lot of people don't have their talents and their abilities. But they did say in the interview, I interviewed them once at BlizzCon. They said that a lot of the new runes are coming up. There's going to be a lot of passives.
That's what I was going to say.
They don't want people like having to press a whole shit ton of buttons.
I think passives and then like also like quality of life runes would be really cool. Maybe like I don't know, like something to where like your buff doesn't just affect one person, it affects your entire party.
Or like Soulwell or like mage tables.
Yes, that kind of stuff. I think that would be really cool.
I hope that I speculate it was just pure hopium, but that the boot slot is going to be like a quality of life, like a mobility thing, like as a warlock, like demonic gateway or like portal would be dope. Something
demonic gateway would be really powerful.
Because not everybody needs a speed boop. It could be anything like a Soulwell or like the mage
Warriors
table,
get
like
heroic
we said.
leap.
Yeah, something that gives them.
Shit.
I think it'd be dope.
Paladins get divine steed.
Yeah, exactly.
Rogues already have sprint. Rogues have too much. They already have too much. Get rid of them. Next class.
Yeah, right. Rogues and hunters.
The rogue boot rune is they get deleted. Okay, and then priests. What can priests? I think like
priests can get body and soul. That thing where they shield themselves and they get faster, or angelic feathers from retail.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. Hunters can get disengaged.
Speaking of retail, I know. Do you ever play whenever like the new expansion comes out?
Yeah.
Do you ever?
I actually love retail. Before Classic came out, I was making content. Before that, like when I was just had a normal job playing, I was all retail Andy. Just cutting edge pusher. I just loved it so much.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm also a big retail. I'm not nearly as much as I was because obviously like Season of Discovery is taking over my life, but definitely like retail WoW is like that's how I got my wife to play WoW with me. Was like I got her into retail WoW. This is like once like Classic was kind of already dying down. We were at the end of TBC. Like everyone was like, all right, like.
Right before Dragonflight.
We get it. Yeah, exactly. So, but Adam, what do you think what do you think the runes are going to be like in the next phase? Like cuz obviously we're going to get like a waste rune.
I have no idea. What kind of question is that? I have no clue.
Listen, like who knows?
No idea whatsoever.
Speculate a little bit,
I don't know. I would like to obviously see like runes that like kind of pull from like quality of life, like we're talking about, like some of the quality of life changes from retail or something, but like nothing too crazy, like nothing that like kind of gets rid of the how do I want to phrase this? Like the fantasy of classic WoW. Like, you know, I don't want like the soul of classic WoW dying and turning into a classic minus, as that fan would say. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a retail minus.
Retail minus.
Right?
I
Because
think
if they add too much stuff, the community knows that they're gonna add things, but if they have too many things that push to retail, it will piss people off.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
More, you know, and I know they already said they're ready to ruffle some feathers, but if they make it too much, you know what I mean, people will complain, and you know there's always people complaining about something.
Even I mean, I saw people complaining about SOD whenever it was first announced. People were like, "Oh, classic WoW is dead."
Well, like it's the World of Warcraft community. What do you expect?
Yeah, well, that's
and then they end up playing.
Point. Yeah. And then they end up playing. Oh, I love SOD. This is the most fun I've ever had playing classic WoW.
Or like people like now that people are playing SoD core, like when you see like Zaryu, Guzu, or any of those videos, you know, Savix and them posting like the footage of them playing, like not all the comments, but there's always just people who are like, "Oh, SoD's dead, already playing hardcore." It's like, bro, you know, you can go in game and find 20 BFDs looking for groups at all times at 2 in the morning.
Not only that, but not all the community is at 25 yet. There are tons of people who don't even have a level 25 on their first character. Like for them, like they're still playing the game. They're still like experiencing the game as just like a normal person playing it.
For me, like I feel like leveling is like my favorite kind of content. It's just like I don't have to worry about finding other people to help me really most of the time. Like I just do it on my own, like relax, chill, and like that's what I'm enjoying. It's like I have like a bunch of alts. Like, you know, I only have 125, and then now I'm like I don't have any interest in playing it because now I'm like falling in love with Paladin. So like now my Paladin's almost 25, and then I'll probably jump to another character. So I'm literally gonna level every single class. That's what I'm going for.
That'd be a fun thing to do, because then like you could play every single class and try to get every rune on every class and almost make that like a challenge. Now, some of the runes are only available in the raid, so that is potentially an issue if you're having like issues finding a raid. But there's tons of raids out.
I don't think you'd ever have an issue finding one.
I think the biggest thing is just like I feel like there's a lot of gatekeeping in the raid unnecessarily, because like
a lot for no reason.
Now, like I tried the raid and Adam was there.
Oh, we thought
it was horrible. We did horribly. Now we were like probably severely under geared for it. Like a lot of us were like fresh 25s, no rings, no helmet. Like, but like, hey, like, you know, like that's kind of how they, you know, like, oh, like
that's the fun of raiding.
25, like just, you know, go in there and try it, right? And we got to the Murloc boss, and by that time, like people were like dying to stupid shit, and like that's kind of how like it ended. And I don't know, like I feel like it's the mechanics wise, it's not hard, but I think there is definitely like a gear check that you need to have. You need to have like some like decent gear, like at least like dungeon level gear before you go in there. You don't have to have your pre-raid best, but I think if you're
it's a lot of knowledge too. Like that fight, like Murloc fight, for instance, right? Like people get hit, like it could be out of your hands. People get hit by Murlocs.
Oh yeah.
Like you can be like all my characters, like pretty like most of my characters, I will hit 25 and I will go to do the dungeon, like that raid within like 30 minutes with no gear on, pretty much. But it's like I know that if I get hit by those Murlocs, I'm gonna die. Like I can't get hit by any mechanic, or I'm screwed, right? Yep. And then obviously I'm not doing much damage either.
Having good, having good gear is a nice like
it's big on healers to your healers too.
Yep.
Yeah, tanks. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it.
Do you think that they're gonna like change how the classes play even more by like adding new runes where like obviously like rogues can tank, and I know like rogues are starting to get more like ranged abilities. They have like between the eyes, quick draw, I believe. Do you think that they'll kind of like expand on those archetypes to where like they make rogue more of like really like a hunter-ish type class where they are just like they can just pretty much do all range damage and do okay? Or do you think that they're gonna like stick to the main ones and just kind of like add a little bit here and there? Because
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna change it much. Like in that example of a rogue, they could. Who knows, right? We don't know. I don't think they're gonna add any more like if you're not tanking now you can tank type things. I think they're gonna flesh out the tanking kits more naturally. Like warlocks and in your example, warlocks and rogues are horrible AOE tanks. Like we can do it, but it's not the best, right? We need like heavy dynamite and something else to do it. Whereas
you're doing a lot.
All I need is Hellfire. Yeah, exactly. And then, like next phase, I get Hellfire, and that completely changes it. Or give rogues Fan of Knives, which I see them getting, and that completely changes their threat too. So I think they will flesh out things from the new roles, I should say. But I don't know if they might. I have no idea. That I don't know.
The thing I'm concerned about with Phantom Knives, at least like in the way that how it works in retail, well, because you hit Phantom Knives in retail, and every target that gets hit, you get a combo point. So like you can cap out, get 5 combo points using one button. I think that if they were to add a Phantom Knives, it would have to not it'd either only have to award 1 combo point, or it would award 0 combo points, because otherwise you'd pull a bunch of mobs, combo point, eviscerate, and it would just. I feel like it would.
They still would need. They still got to do energy though. Energy generation is really really slow in comparison to retail.
Compared to retail,
or even
that's
like
very
Lich King.
true.
Yeah.
And I think even in like retail, you can like get up to 120 energy. So
yeah,
you can even,
it's like
you
way
can
different.
expand the amount of energy you even have. That actually may be like a cool rune where like it expands your current mana pool or energy or rage.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
I think that'd be like a cool thing, or just like having like what's a class that's like very poor on like AOE, and just like giving them an AOE like Rob said, like Rogue Boomkin, yeah, like a rune that makes Star Surge a cleave ability, like how it is kind of in retail. It's an AOE type.
Or I think Boomies will get Starfall if you played Wrath.
Really
if you played Wrath, yeah, I could see them getting Starfall. Or well, they get Hurricane, but Hurricane's ass and it's on a cooldown and stuff. But if they get Starfall, that'd be kind of big, like very big, because Hunters have Explosive Shot now. That's AOE.
Yep.
Like Warlocks have Shadow Volley, which we don't use yet, but eventually we probably will. Hellfire's always been a good AOE. Mages have, I mean, you already know Mages AOE. Yeah, AOE, like with Living Bomb, Living Flame. It's like
Mages AOE. Yeah.
Yeah, they just got stuff that didn't even it didn't even like complement their previous AOE magic with Flame Strike and Blizzard. Now they just have a whole bunch of stuff that just shits on the Blizzard and the Flame Strike stuff. So
yeah,
I hope everybody has some AOE, because that is Shadow Priest got Mind Seer. Everyone has an AOE.
Yeah.
Just Warriors kind of don't have one yet, but they will get one next phase. So I like, as someone who mainly I have a couple tanks now, but who largely DPS is, it sucks not having the AOE. And I know AOE doesn't matter much in BFD because it's just trash packs and but it is fun to do damage on trash, especially if you're one of those guys like who likes to look at the overall damage at the end of it instead of like what's my boss damage.
Yeah,
it's just fun to pump, exactly. And Boomy definitely needs an AOE.
Boomy needs
or Feral
AOE.
too. Feral doesn't have AOE. Druid in general.
Yeah,
I don't know what it could be for. I don't know if there's a way to give them both it, but
have you seen many bear tanks in SoD for this phase? Like I feel like they're super underrepresented.
Not really, not much. Really? They are underrepresented. Yeah, they are underrepresented, but I know they're not. They're okay. First off, before I say it, all the tanks are viable. You can solo tank on all these tanks. They're just like one of the least ones, and I don't know why, because I feel like every time I've seen one in there, they do pretty well. They do pretty well.
And you still get wild strikes from the bear tank like that. I feel like that's a bonus, because then you'd have to worry about finding a feral. You already have a tank, and you get Wind Fury from the tank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like they do great.
I feel
like people get all stigmatized and they're like, I want a warrior, or I want a shaman, or I want a whatever, instead of picking what they want and what they like.
Could it be that one of the runes is for bear tank? Don't you have to buy it from Ratchet? You have to buy it from the vendor. You have to have all of the engineering parts. That I feel like that rune is not difficult to get, right? Because obviously you can, like, anyone can just, if you want, you can just level engineering. You can if you want it bad enough, you can level up the engineering, grind it out, and get the stuff yourself. Yep. But if you are like,
this is also a good gold farm, to be honest.
It's also a good gold farm, and that's it. That was another thing I want to bring up. Like, for someone who is, let's say, leveling up and they're level 22 and they want to be bear tank and they want to dungeon spam and they want that rune, I feel like server prices are getting crazy high, like just like
ridiculous.
Like
the market is screwed.
The market is so screwed. I think when the next phase comes out, it's probably gonna get a reset, because like now that gear is gonna be much more attainable. Like all of the BOEs that drop from Ragefire Cat or from Razorfen Crawl, like a lot of those BOEs sell for a ton because you can't use them yet. So like you're buying them and you're like, okay, well when I hit 27, I have this really good PC gear I can just blast. Do you think, I don't know, like, do you think Blizzard's going to nerf the requirements for those runes? Like, once the next phase comes out and like those runes you have to trade in those items, do you think they're going to?
Yeah, I thought they said they're going to make it streamline and get them easier to get.
Okay.
So people don't have to struggle with like trying to go get the meta rune, for example. Like, you don't have to struggle with trying to get it.
That was going to be like.
So I hope they do that.
That was going to be like a concern, because then because I feel like obviously like, there should be some sort of grinding aspect. It's classic WoW. You're supposed to grind things out, and it's supposed to be like an adventure. It's supposed to be like a long thing, but for like something,
I think they should give us new grinds.
Yes.
Like an example of phase 2 coming out, they're gonna give us new rune slots. I don't think they're going to be easy to get. I think they're going to make them grind some
I
kind of
think they
grind.
should
And
make it
I hope they
difficult.
Should, yeah.
yeah. So give us a new thing to grind while making the old thing we would have had to grind no longer a
Super
grind.
easy to get. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Whether
mean,
that's like in that example of that ratchet vendor, maybe like half the mats or even more, even less than that. You know, just something like.
It'd be really cool to see like that like with the XP buff, because there's gonna be an XP buff from 1 to 25 in the next phase. I'm really interested to see like the new leveling meta for like alts, like in that span of time, or
probably still getting boosted. Buff. Really, I'm not a big fan of boosting. I don't boost. I prefer leveling in the open world. I mean, I'll spam some dungeons with like level appropriate people, but I think that's probably going to be
dungeon spamming is different because you're still doing content, and if you're just getting carried through the dungeon.
I hate it. The AFK alt tab, I despise it.
It's boring to me. Like
I don't even respect the people that do it.
I like.
I like to. Why are you playing the game if you're gonna have someone? You're not. What's the point of playing the game if you're having someone play the game for you, and then you get to level 25, or you're like, oh, I got boosted level 25, doing nothing at all, just sitting there and paying some dude gold. Then you get to 25, and you're already raid logging. You might spend a couple hours or a few runs or wherever trying to get your prebus, right, with a few items you want from SFK or wherever we're in caverns. And then you go to BFD and you're like, all right, well, I'm done. Like, there's nothing else to do unless you're a PvPer. Then I guess if you're a peer PvPer, then I kind of boosting whatever. You don't like the world. I just want to get a rogue and go shred people. Then that's cool. But like, if you're just like, I want to play the game, and then like you're paying $15, it's your money, but you're paying $15 a month to get boosted and then raid log and then
to not experience the game.
Yeah, and then those are the same people who will complain about there's nothing to do in SoD. Like,
exactly.
2 days of what.
I feel like I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, like you know, the meme like, oh, SoD's dead, now they're doing like, they ran out of stuff to do, so now they're doing hardcore, or like, and I'm like,
dude, I mean, get out of SoD then if you're bored with it. Fine.
That's true. Like, okay,
we'll have fun over here. You know.
Well, the reality of it is these people are saying it to like Zaryu or Guzu or they're saying it to streamers.
Yeah.
Not realizing that this is a job for us, so we spend 12 hours a day playing this game. We have most of us 5 or like 3, 4, 5 ults.
Yeah.
And they're all raid logging, so there's nothing else to do. That's why we're playing something else. It's not like we have one character and we're like, oh, we're bored. It's like we have multiple characters deep, and then now we're trying something new. But this hardcore we've been playing for years, so obviously we're gonna try it with this cool new,
it's fun.
more dangerous world, buffed world with runes. Like, that's fun, you know.
What's been like your most memorable moment in SoD since it's come out? Like, what's like the thing that is like that stands out to you the most just from playing it?
Probably finding the meta rune. Me and Stay Safe went on a hunt. We were like one of the first warlocks to hit 25. I think we're the first few on Crusader Strike, and then we went and looked everywhere for meta. We didn't know where to look, so we both had separate raids of people swimming in the water with using underwater breathing and searching down in the water, getting fatigued out, and like clicking everything in the world, scouring every inch of the world. In Ashenvale, oh man, maybe charred veils, fire, I don't know, meta, maybe you got to go, everything that we could do for like 2-3 days straight. It turns out that it was a bug on Blizzard's point.
Oh my gosh, really?
It was a bug, and it wasn't in the game because you had to get a quest. And you had to get a quest to go into BFD and loot these items off the mobs, which is okay. But the problem with that is that quest it used to be when BFD was a 5-man, it's the same quest, right? And you can't get
5-man, you can't get it.
Yeah, you can't get quest items in a raid. So they had to change that. So once they changed that you can get quest items in a raid for this one quest, then you're able to get it. So, and it was, nobody knew that. So for 2 or 3 days straight, we're just mobbing around looking for it, never found it. We have Google documents that.
I love that crazy. That era because like I was just like kind of like scrolling through Reddit and all the places where like people were like theory crafting, and like they were like, oh, in this WoW book, I looked at this page and there's this line, and I'm like, okay, well, there's like these random runes in this cave in the level 50 zone that they were like, everyone was just like scouring every. If it felt like like whenever they announced it and they're like, oh, like we want you to like scour the world for these runes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that felt like.
It did. The most fun I had was only on my warlock, because that was by the time I played another, all the runes were found, was finding runes, hunting them down. Where's my incinerate rune? I need my incinerate rune. I'm horde. Oh, it's in Red Ridge. Well, let's see if it pops up anywhere else, and it never did. So we had to make a raid and go travel all the way to Red Ridge and fight armies upon armies in order to get to this little cave to kill the incinerator to get incinerate, and it was crazy. It was cool. So much fun.
That's what I love most about this whole thing, about just like this season of discovering everything, right? Because it's like back in the day, like what made WoW such a good game was that there was no Wowhead at the time. There was like Thoughtbot, yeah, sure, but like before Thoughtbot, everybody was just like exploring and like learning as they go along. You actually had to read the quest decks and shit. And
Good old Thoughtbot. That's funny.
Yeah, exactly, right. And then
Bring
now
me
as the
back.
game gets older and older, like if you don't know something, you just look it up or find Crix guide or some shit like that, right? So it's like everything is kind of at your disposal, like in terms of knowledge on the internet. But like now, like we actually have to go and find this shit on our own, And that's why I said last time I said this, like they should actually rotate like how you get these runes. So it throws everything. It resets literally everything. We have to find everything again.
That would be so cool, to be honest.
That's
I just hope these next rune slots we get are a struggle to find.
Yeah.
I love them being a struggle to find. I'm talking like make them raid locked. I don't care. Make them. I don't know. Like people complain because the meta one is raid locked at first. It was, and then they made it so the mobs that you have to kill for that quest are now right out front. But they're 25 elites in packs of like 5, 6, right?
Yes, you have to.
It's like I like that. Like people were complaining because like I wanted a meta tank, leveling up with WC, and I wanted a meta tank the raid first lockout. I'm like, well, it sucks. Like, you have 1 million lockouts to go. You're okay,
Yeah. Well, not only that, but Adam, whenever you brought up Thoughtbot, I was like, oh, Thoughtbot still exists. They're just all over Twitter and Instagram now. Like the Thoughtbots are all over the place.
And I think a Thoughtbot's completely different. Yeah.
They're still out there. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
I miss the days of gaming. And I'm guilty of this. If I need to find something, I'll Google it, Reddit, search it, YouTube it. But like, I miss when you couldn't do that. Remember gaming back in the day where not even just WoW, just anything, and you had like
it was all
strategy guides, like actual like strategy guides in a booklet. You know what I mean? Or you just had to figure it out. You're playing Ocarina of Time, trying to figure out how to play the game and where to go and whatever you're playing. And nowadays, it's not. I'll play like Elden Ring, for example. I was like trying to figure out, instead of me just figuring out what it is, I'm over here trying to like look at my phone, how to kill this guy, But it's like the days of you figuring out was everything,
And that's what makes this so great, and that's what makes I'm thinking about Baldur's Gate 3. Like I actually didn't even play much Baldur's Gate 3, but like I watch a lot of streams and I know like how the game works at this point, right? So like
I want to play that so bad.
It
seems great, but it's not my gameplay style. But at the end of the day, like there's no hand holding, there's no direction. Like you just log in, you just open up the game, and you just fucking explore.
It's literally just a D&D campaign, like.
Yeah, exactly. Why I like those kind of games too.
Whatever you want to do, you can just go do. Like you want to go kill everybody, okay, have fun.
Yeah,
it's going to change how you play the game 10 hours from now, but you can go do it.
Yeah. I think it's nice to see like this generation of gaming like lean in that direction a little more, and like maybe we'll see. I mean, like we were talking about retail before. Like Chocolate and I are like big retail people. Like I've always been super critical of retail, or for reasons or another. Obviously, everybody has, but like. Retail is like our main game, but like Season of Discovery is just like scratching the WoW itch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're waiting for War Within. I'm just super hyped to see how they implement maybe some successes from Season of Discovery into retail.
Yeah,
that's something.
I like that you guys play retail because I'm like I feel like in the crowd that I'm in, because it's largely classic. I'm like the only. There's a couple of my people in chat, but other than that, like I'm the only person who likes retail. Like it'll be like. I like when Dragonflight come out. If I have 300 people watching, 400 people watching, I'll play Dragonflight and it'll drop to 50 like right away. Which is the main reason why I don't play retail. But I can't wait for more things.
People that like both.
Yeah, which I don't get because they always hate on each other. Like you should be. I feel like in my head you should be happy whether you hate retail or you hate classic or whatever, you hate hardcore or you like them all. It's like you should be happy that there's so many different versions of WoW that people can play.
Oh,
don't get mad because I'm not playing Lich King when you can play Lich King. You can play. Dragonflight, you can play hardcore, you can play Era, you can play SoD. Like that's cool. It's like WoW. It's
4 games.
Yeah, at the end of the day, World of Warcraft is World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
and we're keeping the game alive, and as long as the game is alive and the company's making money, even if it's kind of cringe how they're making money, we're getting more World of Warcraft, and we're all big World of Warcraft fans. So what are we gonna do if Blizzard's just like, hey, you know what? That's it.
Classic's
we're done making games. No like what are we gonna? We're done with Classic. War Within's the last, or the trilogy is the last expansion. People hate us. We're not gonna play anymore. We're all gonna be like, oh shit. Now what are we gonna play?
Yeah.
We're gonna hope Ashes is good. We're gonna hope MMO right. We don't know. Nobody knows anything. All we know is WoW's here and it's good enough to play.
Yeah. I think Adam and I kind of always been in the camp of like whenever Classic was out, like we were like, okay, like Classic's cool, but we want retail WoW to be good. Like that's that's what we want. Like I want the new version of the game to be the best version of the game because it's new and exciting, and like Classic WoW is fun because it's nostalgic and it's like that old school MMO adventure where you get completely immersed into it. But I want that feeling in the new game. I want them to like I want them to take the magic of Season of Discovery and shove it into the War Within and Midnight and the Last Titan, and I want those to like feel. I want them to feel like so fresh and like
new.
I want them to feel new.
I want it to feel like WoW 2.
Yes.
I know that's kind of a different thing because that's what I think is coming after the trilogy. By the way, I think you know what I mean.
You think
but
they're
I
gonna
want
have
it to
like
feel,
a WoW 2? Like
I really do.
Like
Yeah.
they're gonna do clean
Maybe I'm
slate?
coked out of my mind. Something.
Oh,
because why I feel like why would they do that? Why would they say here's the next 3 coming out and then like they've never done that before unless they just want to hype you up a little bit, and it's gonna be faster cycles too. So it's like
it was super hype. I
was at BlizzCon front row when they did it. I was like,
we tried hunting. We tried like trying to find you in BlizzCon was impossible, by the way. Like after
we were on his stream.
Yeah, I was there with you guys.
Well, like after that, you know, but like when you because like after in the lobby, like we were hanging out with Sarth, and Sarth was like, oh, I gotta go find Crix, and then like we tried to find you, and then you were just like you'd be there and you'd be vanished. It's like you like you were.
Because I stream, I do the IRL streams a lot, and I just go take off and show chat everyone or everything just because they can't be there. You know what I mean?
That's the best way to do the content. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
But what was your take on your BlizzCon experience? Was this like your first ever BlizzCon, or were you at the last one? It was your first one?
This is my first one. The last one I was supposed to go to with Cargo send in, but I had the family thing come up with the kids, so I couldn't go last minute. Like I was so sad, but this is the first one I went to, and it was amazing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
I felt like
it was probably like peak weekend of my life, close to it. And I went to TwitchCon. It was right before that. It was TwitchCon, and then
TwitchCon too. I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was. I went to TwitchCon and then flew to drove to LA and then stayed there until I live in Portland. Stayed there until BlizzCon, and then did BlizzCon. It was TwitchCon was whatever. It was kind of lame compared to last year, but BlizzCon was wild. It was cool, and I like it a lot because like I play Overwatch 2. I played Diablo 4 when it launched, and I loved it. I know people shit talk it, but I had an amazing 2 weeks of playing it. Right, like. If I can have fun for a couple of weeks playing the game, it's worth the money to me. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care. It was way worth it. It was super fun. And I've never really been into Diablo, so it's kind of like my first time playing Diablo, pretty much. I played like a little bit of it, but it's my first time going hard on Diablo, and I absolutely loved it. And then like, you know, I don't know, I just like Blizzard games. We had a tour of Blizzard headquarters, and it was just like seeing even that Rumble game. I played the Rumble game, and it's not even because they're all Blizzard games. I just like the games Blizzard makes. You know, like if I wasn't streaming, these are games that I still would be playing. It's not even like a content thing.
They're good games, yeah. No matter
Hearthstone.
how much,
I never got behind Hearthstone.
I like Hearthstone.
I was never a big fan of Hearthstone.
I like the arena, the Magic one. I was
also like a Yu-Gi-Oh and a Pokemon kid, so like I played those card games as a kid, and I played a little bit of Magic the Gathering.
I love those.
As I got older.
Magic's my shit.
But as soon as Hearthstone came out, I was like, oh, yep, I'm sold. I will give Blizzard so much money because of this game, and I have to like regulate myself. I'm like, okay, I'll get into like the season where like, okay, like all right, WoW's dying down. It's time to play some Hearthstone, and I'm like, get the card out, start swiping, and my wife's like, hey,
and I was about to say the wives have a sixth sense with that shit.
Yeah,
this is only gonna last 2 months. Like your Hearthstone phase is gonna last 2 months, and I'm like, all right, you right, all right.
They look at the bank statement and they just see a Google charge for $10. Like, what's that? I'm like,
you know, like listen,
I don't know. It must have been an app or something.
Blizzard has a sale, you know, like I had to do it. It was 800% value. I had to snag it up.
It would have been $50, babe, if I did it the other way.
Exactly. Yeah, but so like I'll go through like a phase where like I'll just no life Hearthstone for 2 months. And I'm like, all right, back to WoW. All right, I'm all right. I had my little vacation. It's like a vacation.
Yeah.
It's a vacation game for me.
That's how I am with every other video game in my
pretty
life.
much.
Yeah, same.
It's always like that.
That's my problem is I just could play this shit so much, and I don't want to, but I do.
I was actually we were talking about this with Sarth last time because he was doing Hogwarts Legacy content at a time, but I was so excited for Hogwarts Legacy. It's a game that I had always fantasized about being made, and then it got made. And I still haven't finished it,
bro.
Because WoW and work and whatever.
When it was announced, I like shit my pants. I was so excited. I'm still waiting for my Hogwarts letter. I love Harry Potter.
Yep.
And then it came out. I probably put like 10 hours into it. And it's not that it's bad. Like my daughter's almost beat the game. Like it's not that it's bad. the time to
It's
sit
the
there on my
job that we
PlayStation
have,
and just
it's
play
the-
it. Yeah, dude.
Mhm.
I know you can
Yep.
play it on stream, but it's not the same. You know, it's not the same thing. It's like I want to
Yeah.
enjoy that.
It's
Yep.
You know what I
it's
mean?
something where like you want to experience it by itself without like
Mhm.
having to like entertain as well.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get like that with WoW sometimes. We're like, I just want to quest. Like I don't want to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to anybody. I just want to quest.
Mhm.
Like I'll turn all the sounds up, music up, everything, and I'm
Yep.
just like,
Yeah.
I'll just
Full immersion.
I'll just RP walk and storm just to do it. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna RP walk now. Like let's fucking go. I'm here.
There's nothing like pressing enter world and then the Stormwind or whatever music
Yes.
zone comes on. You're just like, yeah. All right, let me crank this up for a little bit.
Exactly.
Have you seen like any like weird shenanigans happen in SOD yet? Because like I was playing on my paladin and I saw somebody kiting Teramis the Devourer into Stormwind.
Yeah.
And it was the funniest thing of my life because everyone's level 25. No one can kill this dragon. No one.
Yeah.
No one can kill it.
You just wreak havoc through all the
It was
Stormwind.
just wreaking havoc, and it was like
That's hilarious.
It was like catching. I know like it's been done before. Like
That's cool.
people have kited that dragon before into Stormwind. Like it's been done before, but just the fact that it happened in phase 1 of SOD. And
I never thought about it that like everyone's low level, so like
no. What can you do?
yeah, you can't do anything.
What can you do? People were like, I saw so many people like booning and like hitting their boon and spinning, so that way they didn't lose their buff. So people were just spinning and Stormwind, spinning and then dying. It was magical. Like,
Did you stick around to see like how it ended?
yeah,
Like,
oh yeah. I saw the hunter kite the dragon out of Stormwind.
No. Like since nobody
Sexualized
can
gnomes,
fucking
chat.
kill the boss. Like, how did the boss get out of the city?
The hunter
I
just
wonder if
the
the
GMs have
probably the
deleted?
guards. I wonder if the
The-
guards can end up doing it.
the hunter just kited him out. Yeah. The hunter, and
Oh,
I don't know what
he
happened
got
after
bored.
that. Yeah, he just got bored. Yeah, he already killed everybody in Stormwind. And I saw people like.
I wonder if you can like take it over to like Ironforge or something. You just ran it all the way there,
You probably
or like ran it down the tramp. No, because if you went to
well,
the
'cause
portal,
it's
it'd probably go
instant.
away.
It's instant, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Then it would.
Imagine the dragon flying the tram.
I wonder if you could like you would have to like walk all the way to Ironforge. That'd be fun.
I've done that walk before.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just
That's a
I was
walk.
like, I'm just gonna walk. Like I missed the tram. I was like 14. It's stupid. And I was like,
He said I missed the tram. Oh, you mean walk down the tram?
I missed it, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep walking. I'll just walk down. Let's
Oh
see
no,
what
I mean
happens.
if you walk from Stormwind to Ironforge with the dragon.
yeah, that would be a
take
walk. But I was
forever.
just saying, like, in the tram.
Oh yeah, I've done the walk.
Yeah.
The tram walk.
It's-
Yeah.
it's-
I remember one time I was
nostalgic.
hallucinating and I was walking. I didn't know that like that underwater pirate ship stuff that was down there. Have
Yeah.
you seen that down there in the tram? It was super trippy. It did caught me up. Chat's like, go down, just walk down there and you'll see a pirate ship. And I thought they were fucking with me. I was like, no, just do it, just go.
You're like, oh
I
god.
was like, all right. And I went down there and looked and I was like, oh, it was cool to see that. It was super dope.
Yeah.
There are so many cool Easter eggs in classic WoW.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, so Bellular was talking about this. How Xalatath is in Season of Discovery. And, like,
the
I don't
the
necessarily know,
the
like, the
shadowy
lore.
figure, how you get your void touched
Oh.
crafted gear.
Okay.
People
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
speculating that that's Xalatath because it's an elf model with a dagger, and the dagger is kind of like curvy from what I remember.
Yeah.
And Xalatath has like that curvy kind of like dagger, or like she's like the void lady from the next expansion, from the War Within. She was like trapped in the priest's Shadow Priest Legion artifact weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even play priest. I'm just a nerd, so I just know this stuff now.
I think it's cool that they're like teasing the next retail expansion lore in Season of Discovery.
Legion was so dope.
Legion was my favorite expansion.
Legion was
of
so
all time.
dope.
Legion was amazing, bro.
What
Take me back.
So like
know.
Adam, you had like brought up like, oh, like I hope that they take what they learned from SOD and they implement into retail. Like Crix, what would be like the coolest thing that you would see them implementing into retail WoW? Would it be like changing the roles of the classes where they have like a rogue tank or a shaman tank? Like, do you think it'd be like that, or would it be more like?
I think it'd be kind of cool to tank, like you said too, or even like a time healer, kind of how the mage is. I think. Conversely, it would be dope to. I've always wanted demonology warlocks to be like it is in retail, where they have 1,000 demons. Like, because it doesn't really feel demonic. You're just besides meta, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
Or even put meta back in retail because they took it from us and gave us to bitch ass
Yeah.
demon hunters.
Yeah,
so
they
like
did,
you can.
they did do that.
Yeah. So like that. But obviously that would never happen.
They could just give it a new model.
Yeah. True.
That would be sick.
Just give it the
Yeah.
old model.
Yeah, take it from Demon Hunters.
Give it the old
Well,
model.
they need to give it a facelift. Obviously, everything needs to have a
that's
facelift.
true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I was playing a lot of classic, and then I was like, oh, like I need to do something in retail real quick, and I logged in, and I almost like my eyes hurt looking
It's
at retail.
like, yeah,
WoW.
it's
My
like
eyes
a-
hurt looking at it. It was like there was so much visual clarity that it hurt my eyes. I'm like, wait,
If they dumbed down the graphics a little bit on retail, I wouldn't mind.
I need to see polygons again. Okay, like I need to see like the squirrel with the triangle head. Like this is too much for me. Like it's
too nice.
It's too nice.
That's the thing. That's the thing about retail, though. Like it's in a very good spot, and the retail fan base is very happy, and the graphics aren't going to get. They're not going to downgrade the graphics. They're not going to.
No. That's the thing. That's why people complain about retail. They're like, it's too anime. I'm like, that doesn't look like anime at all. But I see what they mean, where it's more like fleshed out.
Yeah.
It's just like a fleshed out, stylized type of art, and
I wish they would go a little darker though with it.
yes,
I think they
kind
will.
of like
and
darker
they
in
will.
terms of like how Diablo dark, but also I meant like brightness dark too, like a little bit about it, because it would
it's too
it would make it
saturated.
look less cartoony as well.
It's too saturated.
And I think that would appeal to some more people. You know what I mean?
I think that complaint is really just in this expansion. Really, like Shadowlands was a very dark aesthetic. And I think we're gonna go in a new direction with like the story and like Midnight and the Void and stuff like that. So that could be really cool stuff to explore. But they'll definitely steer away from the Disney dragons giving Avengers cringe.
The Disney dragons with the Avengers ending. Did you see that cinematic, Crix?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And that cinematic for War Within was pretty dope, though.
It was.
That was
dope.
crazy.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was wild.
I'm really interested to see like the art, because like obviously like you're traveling down like deeper into Azeroth. So like you kind of start on like the island, and it's like green and tropical, and it's real lush, and it looks real cool. And then you go in, and like the deeper you get, the more like evil and like necrotic it looks. And I'm really
what are you talking about?
In the War Within, because like the zones travel down as like you're getting deeper to the core of Azeroth is basically what it is. And then you get like, I think like the last zone is like the Ankh-Khet type of like kingdom, where it's like the Nerubians. I love that type of aesthetic. I'm really excited to take a break from like bright green flowers and plants everywhere in the Emerald Dream. Like the Emerald Dream's really cool, but it's so green, and there's so many deer and bunnies.
He's enough of the green.
And it's not like Legion Fell green. It's like cute green. WoW needs to get like some grittiness back for sure. I think we need to feel some danger, like some real danger. Throw a world boss that walks the entire zone.
Ooh, that would be so dope.
Give us Doomwalker back, but something.
I think now with
bring the world bosses back,
Yeah, I think with Chris Metzen controlling the story narrative going forward, like I think we'll have a better, more fleshed out. Like
I think it's gonna be amazing because he's here.
Do you see them adding like a new world boss in Season of Discovery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%.
I think
they're gonna add some new raids at 60.
Yeah.
Somehow, and then I think they're gonna add some a world boss.
Well, they already teased.
Do you know if they're gonna add new raids, or are they still going to do Molten Core and Black Moon Lair?
They're still going to do the normal raids. Yeah, okay. But they're going to. I think they're going to add more raids, and I don't know if they didn't say yes or no if those normal raids like MC are going to be the same. They're going to buff them a little bit because they have to because of the power level with runes. But
now, yeah.
I don't know if they would add. I hope they do. I would like Season of Mastery. They did. They redid a lot of mechanics from the raids.
It's going to be Molten Core, but blue.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
it's called the nice one.
It's called
Blizzard Core.
Frozen Core. Yeah,
that Frozen Core.
Frozen Core.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they add some stuff. I hope they change some stuff, and then I hope there's some world bosses. I don't see why there wouldn't be. A world boss is going to be crazy good.
I think it'd be cool to see like world bosses for the next for the level 40 and level 50 band. I think that like adding it now.
Like if there was a world boss per, I agree. Yeah, I never thought about that. That would be actually pretty cool. Even if there was one right now that you can get, like nothing.
What if there is
nothing groundbreaking? I think it would be found. I think it would probably. I think most of the world has been discovered. Besides like the super high level things, but I think people are even discovering that.
Yeah,
and just death running over and over again. Yeah.
How do you think they're gonna handle like the gate, like the Encourage gate? Because at 60, do you think they're gonna cap it at like, okay, here's Molten Core, and then like a couple months later?
Yeah, they
okay,
said they were
here's-
already.
They're,
The phases,
they're gonna
yeah.
do that. Okay.
And with that and the PvP ranking, where you can only get to a certain rank per raid release.
Because I was interested if they're like, okay, well, hey, you're level 60. Now all the raids are open to you. Like, go.
Yep.
You can go do if you want to do AQ, go do AQ. If you want to do
Yeah,
ZG,
no, they're
go
gonna
do ZG.
they're definitely gonna progression it, which I'm kind of glad they are.
I think that's a good
If they
thing.
change it, but if it's just if they all just roll over, I don't know. I quit Classic when Classic came out because of how easy it was. It was just so way too simple, and I raid coming from retail, cutting edge. I like hard raids. I wipe 500 times on Argus. Like I love the hard raids, and I didn't know that Classic wasn't going to be hard raids. So I hung up my coat and went straight to Classic, and then with the MC BWO, I was like, oh shit, this is going to be MC was a joke, and I was like, okay, maybe it'll be. This is before I was streaming. I was like, maybe BWO will be harder, and it wasn't. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Then I'm gonna go play private servers or something where that's like way harder, you know. But now I'm used to it. It's like now I'm playing now I'm playing Classic because I had to play Classic, and I'm like I'm fine with the difficulty level. I would always want it to be a little bit harder if possible, but who knows?
I think
This time it will be.
I think SOD is like is a great thing for Classic streamers because
Mm-hmm.
it's new enough to where like it's fun and it's exciting and it kind of like reinvigorates you, but it still feels like Classic WoW. Like it's Classic WoW at its core, and I think that's like the biggest thing for me is like that. I think that's why I like it so much is because like playing Classic WoW, like I was like, oh, like I've already done this and I already have like I've already progressed to this and I've already have a character on retail WoW where like I don't know, like it's not going to affect what I'm doing currently, and if they're just going to like progress the story, then I feel like I'm like following two timelines. It just felt weird, but like SOD is like
It also gives us something to do.
Yeah.
And make content on. Because if this SoD wasn't out, we'd be playing Lich King, Ruby Sanctum, waiting for Kata. And then I personally I didn't know this was coming out, and I had a whole bunch of plans to go like retail and GTA or RP, a whole bunch of shit that I wanted to do. And then SoD, they announced SoD, so I'm like, oh, never mind, I got shit to do.
Like,
but if SoD wasn't here, all
WoW.
the streamers, but he's still playing hardcore, like still playing hardcore, was hanging on barely because of the OnlyFans thing. They were keeping it alive, and so it kind of just makes it like, what else is next?
What's your take on Cataclysm? Are you excited
I love Kata.
for
Yeah,
it?
I've been playing private servers on Kata for like a year or something.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for it. Yeah, beta soon too. I didn't play Kata back in the day or MOP, so like about, I don't know, 9-10 months ago.
That makes sense that there's it's something like new that you get to experience it as a
Well, I mean, I kind of like pile drove it on private servers, so I know, but still, like, yeah, like 9-10 months ago, my friend Scotty J, he's big into Kata, so him and I were like, I was like, yo, are you playing Kata right now? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right. And then I just joined his guild, took me under his wing, his death wing. And then we're just playing the shit out of the game. So I can't wait for it. I'm excited for it. We're in a pretty good guild on Classic, so we're on Lich King, so we're trying to take over and do better.
Continue the reign.
Yeah. Yeah. So SOD is such a nice little break.
What things from Cataclysm do you think going in, like the Classic players going in, would probably are probably not happy with the change? Like, okay, let me figure out how I want to phrase this. What in Kata do you think is underrated?
I think that people don't like the world change. I think that's kind of dope. Maybe that's just me. Also, the 10 to 25 man rating. Yeah, how the 10 to 25 man rating is, where it's shared lockout. I think people will like that. I don't like that, but I think people will like it because it makes it. A lot of people don't want to raid. A lot of people complained during Lich King. Even now with ICC, for example, they complained that they had to do 10 mans and 25 mans, which you don't have to, obviously, but you do need to get your emblems and stuff. And now you don't have to do that. And CAD is just shared lockout, same loot, just a little bit more loot if you do 25s. And I think people are gonna really, really like it because Classic is a lot of casuals. I would say it's the majority of it is casual players, even if they don't want to admit it. And it's very casual friendly on that, very raid log friendly. I don't know. I think that's the biggest thing people will like about it. I think people like the PvP. I think the PvP community will like the PvP a lot in Kata, much more than they will in Lich King, in my opinion.
PvP being very fun.
Yeah.
Back when I was playing Cataclysm, when I played it whenever it was out, right? I don't know. For me, like Cataclysm is like not considered classic for me. I understand that it's classic. It's still considered classic, right? Because it's 14
remade.
years old or whatever now, right? But for me,
it doesn't feel like classic to me. It's like a mix of classic and retail.
It's like the next generation. It's like WoW 1 was classic WoW, and it's like WoW 1.5 was TBC and Wrath because flying completely changed everything in the game.
Agreed.
And then Cataclysm came out, and it's like, okay, this is WoW 2. brand new leveling experience.
Talent system changed
new
completely.
Talent change. Everything is like
a lot
new.
of vehicle. I think what makes
Transmog.
it the biggest thing that makes transmog too. The biggest thing that makes that gap between retail and classic to me is vehicles, like being able to the vehicle quest, vehicle raids, like Flame Leviathan, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then transmog, like you said. Damn, there's another one, but I forgot it.
The collection tab.
Collection tabs. Yeah, I forgot what it was. You said it earlier, but I think the classes are big. I think people are either don't know. A lot of people didn't play kata, or they quit kata really early. Or what I say is people are playing people are playing vanilla TBC Lich King in college or high school, whatever. Graduated, got married, had kids, had to work, couldn't play games anymore. Right when kata came out.
Yep.
And instead of just being like, oh, I couldn't play kata, they're like, fuck kata, it was garbage. I hated it because they heard people didn't like Dragon Soul or it was a long phase or something. And Blizzard knows what people didn't like about Cataclysm. Yep. And they're purposely going against that. Okay, you guys didn't like the long phase? There's no more long phase. Oh, you guys didn't like that, ZG and ZA were a whole phase that you had to wait for? We're going to sub-phase it, and it's going to be a really, really short month phase or whatever, And they're listening to what people are saying, and they're changing it, which I think is a massive deal.
I like this new take that Blizzard has, where like they're actually just like responding to people's feedback. Like I see like is his name Josh Green? Agrin? Yeah, Agrin.
Mm-hmm.
I see Agrin on Twitter just like all the time, just like replying to people.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, hey.
He loves the game, man.
Yeah.
He really does.
You can tell.
He loves the game.
But
he was like, we're at BlizzCon, the last day at BlizzCon, and I'm at Blazing Bob, my friend Blazing Bob. He does another podcast for Classic, and I go to his hotel room, and Agrin's just in his hotel room hanging out,
talking.
And we just sat there for like 2 hours just talking about WoW, after BlizzCon.
That's why I
love
love
like
doing
just
this show.
they're so passionate about it,
That's why I love doing this podcast, because like it doesn't matter who we bring on, like we all share like that same love for WoW, so like it's just fun to do. Like it's just
it's a big game for a lot of us. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm in my 30s, and that's like this was a big game for us when we were younger. Whether we're in high school doing it and sitting on the computers trying to look at talent calculators or whatever, skipping school to play, or
class you're like looking at, okay, well, how do I find this?
I was literally doing
again?
that. Yeah. I was the AutoCAD classes looking up fucking talent counts. I remember going to college parties with the computer, and everyone played WoW, so it wasn't weird to turn around and see someone on TBC or on Lich King PvPing or something like that, doing their dailies. And here we are a million years later playing it,
Still doing it, yeah.
Exactly.
But it's like, it's like it was like Cataclysm and Mop, and then Warlords of Draenor was like WoW 2 was what it was, because it was the new talent system in Mop really changed it, because it went from the tree system to the grid.
Yeah.
The Excel spreadsheet talent point system, and that really affected it. And then we also got massive button bloat in the next two expansions. Legion came out, and that was like WoW 2.5. Then it was the AP grind era of WoW, where like
Mythic
you can
Plus
just grind.
too.
Mythic Plus. They like uncapped.
It'd be dope if they add Mythic Plus in like Kata or something like that.
I think
Or even like SoD.
And
Something.
Mythic Plus
Oh,
and
well,
SoD. I need to
do something. That'd be cool.
I can't wait to see the plus 15 Shadowfang Keep runs. I must be augmentation evoker for my plus 15 Shadowfang Keep.
Yep, exactly.
And then now like I feel like after Dragonflight, this is like kind of like the end of the AP type era. And now like going into the War Within, I feel like it's going to be, I don't know what the new era is going to be. I think it's going to be like alt friendliness, just like your account because they're saying like your account progression is going to matter much more than it did before. Because it's always like, okay, well, like starting an alt was always very daunting, because you had to start, everything was
all the grinds.
Yeah, all your reputations, everything was reset. So like starting an alt was a big decision. If you're like, oh, like I don't like my warrior, I'm gonna go play a priest now. And okay, well now if you're like a completionist, right, then you're gonna want to do all those grinds again. And I think the next 3 expansions are gonna be more like maybe more casual, not necessarily like maybe more like casual friendly. I think where like the hardcore players are gonna have their thing, and like the hard raiding and all that kind of stuff. Also, I wanted to talk about raiding, because you said you were like a cutting edge raider. Do you think that they're ever going to improve on how raiding is, where you don't need 7 add-ons to do a single boss in the game? Like, do you think
I have not raided? My last raid was a cutting edge Jaina. in battle for just Desire Lore because the classic came out like a couple months after that.
Yeah.
So I have not rated pretty much at all since then. But I will say that I having needed, like, imagine not having weak aura, because I watched the World First Races. Imagine not having weak auras right now trying to do that. I think it'd be impossible.
Impossible.
I think it honestly would be impossible. I
mean,
think it's times, and people are like, yeah, you got to use all these add-ons. We didn't have to back in the day. Well, I hate to break it to you, I'm doing the raids right now in Classic that you're doing back in the day in Lich King. You don't need all those weak auras. You didn't need them. Dodge fire. Like now it's like one of those things where you need the weak auras in retail to tell you that I'm going to give you a debuff, and if you don't drop this in a certain spot or to somebody or not around somebody, you're gonna die. You're gonna kill everybody, and it's a one shot. You know what I mean? So I have no idea. No, I don't think so. I think they're always gonna need some kind of add-ons. I don't think they're gonna ever other that UI change they made. Dragonflight was really nice because I know a lot of people use that instead of having to get LVY or Bartender or Dominoes or whatever. But I don't know. I think you're always gonna need the add-ons.
Yeah, that's something that I'm cautiously optimistic about, is that they start to like not even necessarily like telegraph the things more, but just like make it much more visually like understandable. Like, hey, like you see this big circle, move away from the
Get
circle.
Out of it. It's kind of like how Final Fantasy is,
yes,
right?
I was gonna say like Final Fantasy, you have it's like a
you
big
see it and you know.
It's like, hey, like, and you got to be out of it before it goes away.
Yeah, or it'd be like a huge circle, and then a dark circle, and then just a little tiny little bit of clear, like not dark, and then another dark circle telling you to stand in that clear. And don't get, you know what I mean? But I feel like that's I feel like that rating would be too easy at that point. And the thing that retail has going for it is the difficulty. That's where you go when you want to play hard. You don't. That's what you do. You play that, right? You don't go play classic to be hard. You go play retail for mythic if you want a hard raid, you know?
Yeah.
And that's
I feel like if they simplified it.
Yeah, that's why I think retail's in such a good spot, because everybody's like,
the raiders, the rating and the mythic plus carries retail, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. And
you asked me something that I would want. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just, I've never been in those camps, so like classic is just like hitting different for me, you know, as the kids say. Lately.
It's hitting different. It's cooking.
Yeah. No, it's cooked. It's cooked.
One thing that you guys asked me if I wanted something from classic to be in retail is I want the leveling to be more meaningful. One thing I'd never liked about retail at all is how quick you can do it. How quick you can go from whatever level like
expansions.
Exactly. How quick you can go from 70 to 80 or 80 to 90 or whatever stage of the game we're at, 50 to 60. No matter what the expansion is, it is very quick. And for me, I know a lot of people don't like leveling, so a lot of people, I'm probably against the grain here, but I like feeling accomplished when you get it. You know what I mean? It just feels like, okay, I grinded for 24 hours, 48 hours, or whatever it is. Classic, obviously, it's way too long. I'm not saying you got to do it classic length of leveling, but like make it work, or like buff the world, make the world a little bit harder to level, something like that. Make it more passionate. Like make it
dangerous.
Take twice, like how quick Dragonflight was the leveling. Make it take twice as long as that, and that was really quick as it was 2 or 3 times, and then buff everything or something like that. Make you feel it.
Leveling. They were kind of cheesing the leveling.
They always
were
do.
doing dungeons and just.
They always do.
I think.
But you can't blame them because it's like new dungeons, so you're like, oh, I get to go new dungeons. But like maybe do something to where like you get more experience from quests. You can do like you can make it more rewarding to be questing while making it a little more difficult, and you just feels good. There's nothing like, okay, I hit 50, I hit 60.
I would love to see them do where you can't queue for the dungeon until you have ran into that instance portal for the first time.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, wasn't that something at some point?
Yeah.
I don't know
something that they have to do.
That'd be smart. I like that.
I think that
or like unlock the zone.
Yes, I think that would really like improve.
Or I think it was Final Fantasy that did this, or ESO when I was playing it. But you didn't unlock the dungeon until you did the zone, and then got a quest for the dungeon. Once you got the few quests from the dungeon, because it was like the pinnacle. Yeah, it was like the pinnacle of the zone. Like, oh my god, I just finished this zone. I just finished, Silver Pine Forest, and I got a quest to go to this dungeon, and then the dungeon's unlocked. Like, you go do the quest, turn the quest in. Once you go in there once, do the quest, and turn them in, it unlocks the dungeon, and you can spam it.
I think attunements would be a really good thing in WoW, because the way that they have the WoW dungeons broken out is they have 4 leveling dungeons, 4 max level dungeons. So there's typically 2 dungeons per zone, and obviously you can't do the max level ones to hit 60, and then there's no point in doing heroic dungeons. Just delete heroic dungeons out of the game by now. Everyone just goes straight into Mythic 0 like that.
Yeah, exactly, because you just craftables up.
Because it's easy. It's not hard.
Yeah.
I think
you just walk into them
instead of having a heroic difficulty for dungeon. Just have normal and mythic, and you can just queue for mythic 0. Just be able to queue for mythic 0. But I love the idea of having to actually go to the dungeon for the first time, because there is something like
you earn it.
There is something magical. Like that's what classic WoW feels so good. Like I was talking about Dead Mines and Wailing Caverns. The journey just to get to the dungeon is more fun than the dungeon.
Yeah, especially if you're opposite faction trying to get like Dead Mines, like
oh
or
my
Wailing
gosh,
Caverns.
and like
You're swimming through the water trying to get there.
Having to fight there, and like you're like, okay, do you see any alliance? Are there any like level 25 camp at the end? Like that's what's
like you're in enemy territory.
That's what makes it fun. Like that's what makes it magical and memorable.
What they're actually gonna do, and I don't remember where I saw this, and it might have been in a Bellier thing I was editing. I don't remember where this was from, but I think they're gonna do something where they're baking in the follower dungeons into the
story,
the lore, like the story quests of the zone next expansion.
But,
because usually how it goes is when it's like, oh, you finished the story of the zone here. Now you have to do the dungeon, and that's what the cherry on top of the thing.
That would be cool.
Now what you do, they're eliminating the like requirement to like have to queue up or find a group for that.
Yeah.
You can just go in with the follower AI people or whatever, so you can finish the story and then you like complete the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the followers in the dungeon. It's kind of cool to make them look human, like they're jumping and stuff, but like
I want to do
dungeons. I feel like should be bodied up, unless it's like a storyline thing.
I want to do
is that in right now? Or are you talking about is that the future?
No, I think it's coming in the next 0.5 patch. I think is the follower dungeons. The follower dungeons are cool, but I want to do them and be like the worst tank ever, and just to see
what they do.
See what happens. See, I want to see how hard they carry me.
Right there.
And be like purposely bad at the game.
Yeah.
I don't like them though. I don't like the follower dungeon. Or I like the AI follower dungeons.
That's one thing about retail I like more about classic is there's so much more. Like if my content was retail based, there's so much more like random things like videos you can do like that, like he said, versus classic is kind of like, you know what I mean? What can you do?
You're limited on having to find actual people.
Yeah.
But
or retail, there's so many little. It's been out for so long, right? Because that's the expansion off expansion.
Yeah.
Where now we're kind of like newer, you know.
I think also too, like depending on like the size of your stream, right? Like you have hundreds of viewers watching you. It's probably pretty easy to get a group going for Dead Mines if you wanted to.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like you'd be like, hey, I'm gonna do Dead Mines. I'm gonna do Dead Mines. Everyone, if you want to invite, message me. And it's probably like watching the LFG chat, except it's whispers saying PST.
Pretty much. Yeah. And if you can't, you have the LFG chat too. There's always people looking on all these servers right now.
Yeah. LFG chat is wild. I had to move it to like a different window in the chat box.
Yeah, do you use the add-on and looking for group bulletin board?
No, I should though.
Oh,
I
man.
used that in TVC, but I haven't picked it back up because I forgot the name of it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, looking for group bulletin board is where it's at.
I'm gonna have to
I'll take a screenshot right now and show you. It like puts up every dungeon that people are doing. And it tells you what they're like, where it is, and then you just so pretty much what it's doing is it's logging it's your window. It's logging that looking for group window you have. So I never see that, and every time someone types in there, it puts it up into the bulletin board.
Nice.
And then you can just right click, invite, follow, whisper. I mean not follow, but whisper, do whatever you need on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that right now.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like the sound of that because trying to like find I'm sure like. I don't know how people even read that looking for group chat. It moves so fast that it's
crazy.
Like how do you even know? And then classic WoW or like just WoW in general feels alive, and it is a very like good feeling to have that it's like active again and people are wanting to play it.
It's only gonna get better.
Oh, they really do.
I wish I was playing it right now. Like I want to be playing while I'm talking to you guys, but otherwise, if I was, I would just not be talking. I'd just be playing the game.
Watch, I'm gonna send you this screenshot right now, and I just logged in, and so it doesn't start logging until you log in, and you can see the time on the right, and this is just how many people whispered.
Oh, that's cool.
This is how many people did it at the time, and you don't have to look for anything. You can filter whatever dungeons you need and just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think WoW is in a really good spot. I think this BlizzCon kind of like, I think it put everyone at ease.
Reinvigorated it.
Put everyone at ease of like, okay, like, well, what's Blizzard gonna do? And now we know we have like pretty much till 2030 planned out for retail is what they're saying because it's gonna be a new expansion every what was it? I think they said like every year and a half is what they're doing. Or
is that
every
how
2
long it's gonna
years.
be?
I
I thought it was gonna be shorter.
I think they said they're gonna blast through them.
Yeah, that's what I thought they said too. Is they're blasting through. How long has Dragonflight been out for?
It came out.
I'd probably say a year right now, right?
It's been
November 22.
Yeah,
yeah,
that sounds
end
right.
of 2022. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, I thought they're gonna blast through them.
they said they're gonna be blasting through them. So because
Mm.
this one's comes out in middle of this year, War Within, and that's 2024, and then another year and a half. That's pretty much almost to 2030.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4.5 years from now, or
It's gonna be a big one.
yeah, about 4.5 years.
And then what?
And then what? Do you really?
I'm interested. Like, what after SoD? SoD is gonna be done.
Yeah.
By the time we go to the next BlizzCon, I think
So
SoD is
true.
a beta for Classic Plus.
I think so too. There's no other.
I don't think they're gonna. Do you think they're gonna name it Classic Plus though?
I don't know. I'd probably
No,
not.
what? Like, yeah, they gotta name it. They gotta name it something.
They're
catchy.
gonna Blizzard. They're gonna Blizzify the name.
I mean,
It's gonna
this
be
like is Classic Plus in my
this is
opinion.
Classic Plus. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But they got to keep some version of Classic alive forever. You have to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you go into TBC with runes. I don't know if people would like that. TBC is my favorite expansion, so maybe. But
I don't see them doing TBC with runes because I feel like you kind of get like that experience already with because you get all these new spells and your talent points.
and you're only going up 10 levels too, right?
Yeah.
And you're only gonna have 10 levels. I really
Yeah.
like the game right now.
Yeah, I love
I'm
it.
super excited to keep playing WoW. Honestly,
Me
at this
too,
point.
bro. I love it.
Yeah.
I love people are. I have too many alts. Just keep playing them.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this.
nice
SoD.
to,
I'm going on a SoD core run now just to do it, just to say I did it, and then
Yeah. I might join you.
patiently wait. It's a lot of fun, bro. It is.
Yeah.
Lava Lash NA.
Hell yeah. I started out on that server actually. I made a
Did
dwarf
you?
female warrior named Gail Lewis.
Yeah.
And then everybody went to different servers on my RF.
Gail Lewis.
Gail Lewis.
10-year
I've seen
associate.
so much stuff on her. Yeah, I've
10-year
been seeing so much stuff about her on
associate.
TikTok.
Salute. Yeah. Dude, it's I just love the meme. Like there's so many good memes in WoW because of SoD.
Oh,
and,
the character names that I see are horrendous.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Insane.
They're wild.
What?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask like what was the craziest name you've seen, but that's probably not a good question to ask.
Racist ones.
Racist,
Yeah, some.
I'm sure there's been.
I saw some racist ones. I think the guild name was like Hail Hitler, but spelled differently. But you can tell that it was that.
Oh yeah.
And then like the ranks of the people were like, I can't speak German, but like the ranks of those ranks, and like Führer or whatever was like the guild master. It was wild.
I was in this.
They
guild.
got reported immediately.
I was in this guild on Crusader Strike. It was called Earthman, and the entire guild chat just spams Earthman. But like the guild bio is all in Chinese. I don't know why. Because like the guy who owns it he doesn't speak Chinese. So I don't know what they're
That's
saying.
crazy.
So like I was like,
maybe it's like a bot guild.
it could be, yeah. It could be a bot
Probably.
guild. I just joined a bot
There's
guild.
some pretty cool stuff people are doing SOD. Like they're doing. I know this guy who does. He has an all Tauren guild.
Yeah.
And they do the Raiders Tauren. They don't do. It's all Tauren.
Guild.
Yep, all Tauren guild. There's an all gnome raid because now you never were able to do a gnome raid at first because you didn't have a healer, but now but now you can heal with
Mage
mage
healers, and mage
so,
healers
like,
are great. They're super strong.
Yeah, so you could just have a couple mage healers and have a full gnome raid, full Tauren raid, full orc raid, full of everything raid. It's kind of cool to do that, you know.
That's dope.
That's fun. I like that. I don't know, like it's like this is like the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning. But we've already been going for over an hour now, and I could just keep talking. But I wanted to close it out and ask you, like, I guess it's like one final question. But what are you most looking forward to in like the next year of WoW? Is it just like to see how SOD ends, or like is it like something specific in SOD that you're like hoping to see? Like what's like the one thing you are like really?
Well, I'm very
wanting?
excited for SoD. I will be honest and say that I feel like I'm gonna lose interest once I'm 60 unless they do something crazy. This leveling part is fun. The phases are fun. The fact that it's feeding my YouTube content is fun. But I'm looking forward to Kata more than anything, probably. I'm looking forward to BlizzCon again just to see what they're gonna announce. But I would probably say definitely SoD and Kata and War Within. I would probably say in order, I'm looking forward to Kata and then War Within and then to see what SoD's like. I just feel like SoD's really hyped right now, and I think it's gonna be really. I think SoD's gonna be more fun in the phases versus at 60, unless they do something crazy at 60. Because if we're just going through Molten Core, BWL,
But
you know,
didn't they
ZG,
tease
and
Karas
all that,
Crits?
like,
They tease
yeah,
Karas
that's what I'm
and
saying.
Crits,
So they
like,
got
they have to
if
do
they add
something.
other stuff, I'm gonna love it. But if I have to go through a couple months of Molten Core and only Molten Core with some slight changes,
I definitely will not do that.
you know what I mean?
Sure
Yeah,
wouldn't.
and I'm not a big fan of 40-man rating. I've never, maybe it's the retail. I mean, I like the 20-man, 25-man. I've never liked 40-man rating. So
I feel like
I
it's
hope
too
they
daunting to get
really
into.
spice. Yeah, and they already said it's gonna be 40-man rating. So spice it up. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but I feel like they can spice it up. But I'm really excited for Cat and War within exactly both of them. Yeah, that's probably about it. Just the same thing people are probably excited
comes
for.
out, we'll have to do some Mythic Zeros and.
Oh, I'm down. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love pushing keys.
What do
That's
you
like my favorite
play in
point.
retail?
I play Warlock. I play Warlock or Disc Priest because the Atonement Healing is my favorite. But then when I started pushing like keys and I got high, like to the point where it was too high to be able to be a priest and you needed to be a Wrestle Druid, so I swapped the Wrestle Druid. So it's like Wrestle Druid Warlock. I played and Dragonflight. I started with Lock, but it was really annoying because of how much movement there was. So compared to like the last expansion, you had to move a lot when the high keys and hard casting was very annoying. So I just switched to Wrestle Druid.
Very nice in keys right now, just because of that reason. Because there's so many mechanics, you just like put your dots on everybody. You have your cast to get your seed or your unstable affliction or whatever, or not UA. It's seed, and then there's malefic rupture or whatever it's called, whatever like the one that explodes your dots. So yeah,
it's fun. I'm excited to play. I'll probably go back and Dragonflight. I don't know when. Is this the last patch too? Yeah.
This is like the last like major patch.
There's a couple more.
This is the last raid, and then we'll have like.
Did they say a release date for Worthen?
No.
Quarter?
It's like beginning of Q3, end of Q2 is kind of what I'm assuming.
Should be like August.
Summertime.
August
okay,
around.
Cool.
Yeah, summertime.
Typically, whenever you pre-order the
right
game,
after Kata,
whenever you pre-order the game, there is like a disclaimer at the bottom that says, "will be delivered by a certain date." So they have to put a promise date on their pre-order.
Yeah.
And they typically set it for like the end of the year, just in case. Like,
and that's what I say. They usually say like 12/31.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, thanks for that 6 month window.
Yeah. So, but I know that they said, I mean, they have like the timeline now, which I love that, and I love how they separated out the classic and the retail timeline. I think that's really cool how they like are equally, they're equally communicating on both fronts. But yeah, so WoW's in a good spot.
An amazing, the best spot it's been in years.
It's a great time to be playing WoW. So if you are, if you're wanting to get,
you're thinking about it,
dude,
do it.
Just do it. Yeah, go log on to SoD, make a character, make something that looks cool that you want to play.
Pick your favorite class and look how much has changed.
And just play because it is the best time to play WoW for sure. But Crix, thank you again for coming on the show, man. It was super cool to
thank you guys.
hang out with you at BlizzCon and to see and to hang out with you again here. And we will, we'll see you guys in Azeroth and all over the
Appreciate you guys,
places.
man.
So
be safe out there.
Peace.
Oh yeah.